Deep within the northernmost expanses of Japan lies an eerie landscape where nature's quiet beauty masks a lingering sense of desolation. Here, in the vast forests of Hokkaido, abandoned mines punctuate the wilderness, their silent shafts descending into darkness far beneath the thick canopy of ancient trees. These forgotten industrial relics, long left to decay, have earned a haunting reputation among locals and explorers alike, drawing comparisons to the infamous Aokigahara forest near Mount Fuji, known for its dense woods and somber history. The mines of Hokkaido, often referred to as the Aokigahara of the North, invite a slow, unsettling curiosity, a sense of mystery born from their stillness and the stories concealed beneath layers of moss, rust, and time. The northern forests of Hokkaido are vast, with towering conifers standing like silent sentinels over ragged hills and valleys. In spring and summer, the greenery is thick and almost impenetrable, and fog often clings low to the ground, swallowing entire landscapes in a blanket of gray. This atmosphere, amplified by the eerie silence disrupted only by occasional gusts of wind or the creak of swaying branches, creates a chilling backdrop for the dark chapters woven into this land's industrial history. Unlike the well-known Aokigahara in central Japan, which is both geographically and culturally distinct, these northern sites carry a unique narrative tied to Japan's expansion into modern industry during the Meiji and Taisho periods. The abandoned mines scattered across this region stand as stark reminders of a time when Hokkaido was a frontier of intense economic activity. Throughout the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the island became a focal point for mineral extraction, with vast operations extracting coal, metals, and other resources vital to Japan's rapid industrialization. As these mines flourished, small communities of workers and their families formed around the excavations, forging lives amid rugged wilderness. However, as resources dwindled and economic priorities shifted, many mines were gradually closed and deserted, leaving behind infrastructure and tunnels now swallowed by the encroaching forest. Walking near these sites today, one can still find remnants of the bustling activity that once thrived here. Rusting machinery, broken tracks from narrow-gauge railways, crumbling buildings overtaken by vines. Yet beneath this tangible decay lies something less obvious but equally compelling. The silent histories of the people who toiled underground, their struggles, their hopes, and sometimes their tragedies. These are stories seldom told, hidden beneath layers of moss and shadow, waiting for those willing to listen and explore. This documentary seeks to uncover these overshadowed narratives. As we venture into these abandoned mines, we will examine their historical significance and the role they played in shaping not only Hokkaido, but Japan's wider industrial era. We will explore the geography and natural environment that both nurtured and eventually reclaimed these sites, transforming industrial hubs into ghostly remnants swallowed by forest and legend. The Aokigahara of the North is more than a mysterious terrain. It is a crossroads of nature's resilience and human endeavor, a place where time seems suspended between progress and decay. The story of Hokkaido's abandoned mines begins in the late 19th century, during a period of rapid industrial growth across Japan. Following the Meiji Restoration in 1868, the government prioritized modernization and resource development to strengthen the nation. Hokkaido, with its vast untapped natural resources, became a prime target for mining enterprises. The island's rich deposits of coal, metals such as copper and lead, and other minerals fueled not only regional growth, but also contributed significantly to Japan's industrial ambitions. Throughout the Meiji and into the Taisho periods, mining operations expanded swiftly, drawing workers from other parts of Japan to the frontier lands of Hokkaido. Mines were often established in remote, rugged terrain, surrounded by dense forests and mountainous landscapes. These conditions shaped both the operation of the mines and the lives of those who worked there. Coal mines, in particular, became major centers of activity, as the resource was essential for powering factories, railways, and emerging industries nationwide. At the height of Hokkaido's mining boom, entire communities sprouted near the shafts and tunnels. These settlements typically included housing for miners and their families, administrative buildings, schools, and other infrastructure necessary for daily life. However, working conditions within the mines were harsh and dangerous. Long hours in dark, cramped underground spaces put immense physical strain on laborers. The threat of accidents, including cave-ins, gas leaks, and explosions, was ever present. Many mines lacked the safety technologies that are standard today, reflecting the standard industrial practices of the era. Despite these challenges, mining wages provided a vital income for families, and the work was often the only available livelihood in such isolated areas. Over time, however, several factors led to the gradual decline of these mining operations. As mineral deposits were exhausted or became unprofitable to extract, production slowed. Additionally, shifts in energy consumption, new technological developments, and economic changes in Japan and abroad influenced the demand for specific materials. By the mid-20th century, many mines had ceased operations, with companies withdrawing their investments. Without maintenance, infrastructure began to deteriorate quickly. Buildings collapsed, rail lines fell into disrepair, and the tunnels were sealed or abandoned. Nature, once pushed back to make way for industry, slowly reclaimed the land. The dense forests of Hokkaido retreated over rusted excavator arms and decaying machinery. Moss and vines crept over walls and tracks, while trees sprouted through cracked concrete and earth. This process of natural reclamation transformed the abandoned mining sites into haunting landscapes that heightened their eerie reputation. What was once a scene of human endeavor and industrial vibrancy became a somber reminder of impermanence and change. The interplay between the industrial ruins and surrounding forests creates an atmosphere both beautiful and unsettling. The silence is profound, interrupted only by the sounds of wind and wildlife. For many locals and visitors, the image of the mines swallowed by forest evokes reflections on the passage of time and the transient nature of history. The physical remnants of Hokkaido's mining age offer tangible connections to an important chapter in Japan's development, while the encroaching wilderness underscores the resilience of nature in reclaiming its domain. The abandonment of these mines brought profound environmental shifts that continue to unfold today. As human activity receded, the forests of Hokkaido began a quiet but persistent reclamation. Trees spread their roots across old mine shafts, while moss and undergrowth crept over rusted machinery and crumbling wooden structures. This return of nature has created pockets of rich biodiversity, where flora and fauna take refuge among the lingering scars of industrialization. However, the legacy of mining is not erased entirely by greenery. Contamination from heavy metals and other pollutants can still impact soil and water quality, demonstrating that the environmental consequences of extraction persist long after the last blast of dynamite has faded. Unlike modern mines designed with environmental restoration in mind, these historical sites were closed without such considerations, leaving complex challenges for conservation efforts today. Equally compelling is how the mines are remembered or forgotten within local culture and collective memory. The stories of those who lived and worked here survive mostly in fragments, worn photographs, oral traditions, and sometimes sparse records kept by companies or communities. Yet many of the personal experiences, hardships, and tragedies have faded into obscurity, obscured by time and the absence of comprehensive documentation. This gap in the historical record makes it difficult to fully understand the human dimension of these mining communities. The silence of official archives contrasts sharply with the vivid, if shadowy, impressions left upon the landscape itself. In contemporary Japan, attitudes toward these abandoned mines are complex and varied. For some, they represent invaluable industrial heritage, testaments to a pivotal era of growth and transformation. Preservationists advocate for protecting structures and mine sites, emphasizing their educational and cultural significance. They argue that these ruins offer a tangible link to the past, providing insight into technological progress and the social fabric of mining communities. Efforts have been made at certain locations to stabilize buildings, clear dangerous areas, and develop guided tours that balance access with safety. Yet there is also an acceptance, even an embrace, of decay. The atmospheric power of derelict mines, cloaked in forest, attracts explorers, artists, and photographers drawn to their haunting beauty and melancholic stories. This perspective sees value in allowing nature to continue its slow reclamation, viewing the ruins as dynamic spaces where history and wilderness converge. Some suggest the mine's silent interiors, where only the wind echoes, remind us of our impermanence and humanity's fragile mark on the earth. Ultimately, the story of Hokkaido's abandoned mines is one of contrasts between preservation and neglect, memory and forgetting, industry and wilderness. These sites encapsulate the tension between honoring a laborious past shaped by human hands and accepting the quiet dominance of time and nature. They challenge us to reflect on how we commemorate places tied to both progress and hardship, and how the physical remnants of history continue to shape contemporary understanding. The mines remain shadowy thresholds, where the industrial and natural worlds meet in uneasy harmony. While it may never be possible to fully recover every personal tale hidden beneath layers of rust and earth, the presence of these forsaken sites offers a powerful reminder.